everybody, this is Lola Granola coming to you from the Magical Butter Kitchen today. We're bringing you a whole slew of vegan recipes here, all healthy, all infused, especially for anyone who has any dietary restrictions or has someone in the family that's vegan. Today we'll be showing you how to make some empanadas stuffed with infused walnut meat and a side of chimichurri sauce, all vegan and all infused. Let's get cooking. Right now we're gonna start with the crispy empanada dough. It's gonna start with 3 cups of flour, which we're gonna throw right into the stand mixer. We're gonna also throw in some vegan butter made from oils, so it is dairy-free. You're gonna want your butter to be slightly softened, but just a little bit chilled still so that your dough stays cool. And then we're gonna add in some water, anywhere from a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, depending on how you want the consistency of the dough. And then we're just gonna add a pinch of salt for some flavor. And the next step is just to activate our stand mixer. I like to keep it at a medium speed for at least a minute, minute and a half, just until the dough starts to get nice and crumbly. Here we go. So now we're gonna move on to our walnut meat filling. In the meanwhile, we'll throw this dough into the fridge just to stay chilled. To start making this walnut meat filling, first we'll need to use our food processor. So the main ingredient of our walnut meat filling is gonna be our walnuts. In vegan cuisine, a lot of people do use soy as a substitute for meat, but here I like to use soaked walnuts and sometimes even soaked cashews to form the meat. So you're gonna wanna soak your nuts from anywhere to 1 to 2 hours. This is gonna give it a really nice texture, make it really easy to cook with. It'll also activate the nuts just as decarbing would activate cannabis. Here we have these soaked walnuts. We're gonna throw them on into the food processor. It's gonna get followed up by a little bit of seasoning here. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead and start our food processor, and you'll want to get that walnut meat to the texture and consistency of ground beef. All right, so now that we have our meaty nut filling serving as our meat substitute for these empanadas, we're gonna throw it into a hot pan with some infused olive oil. Make sure that pan is really hot. I usually keep it at like a 5 or a 6. And we'll go ahead and throw this on in there. So now you just take your Magical Butter spatula and stir up this walnut mixture until it starts browning somewhat like ground beef. So now that this walnut meat is starting to brown really nicely, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our spices. The first spice we're gonna add is 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 tablespoon of cumin, a couple red pepper flakes, and last but not least, we're gonna add in our sofrito. Now sofrito can be bought at a store, but I like to make mine homemade. And we're gonna mix this up real good. Sofrito is a mix of vegetables that many Spanish countries use for a majority of their dishes. It'll consist of green peppers, red peppers, onions, garlic, and a lot of cilantro. For the final part of this recipe, we'll be using the Magical Butter machine to make our infused chimichurri. I love using the Magical Butter machine to make this sauce because it takes all the work out of the process and it gives it a great texture. So we're gonna start by removing the head off of our Magical Butter machine and adding in our cilantro. And then add 1 tablespoon of red pepper and add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Next, we're gonna add the juice of 3 limes to our Magical Butter machine. Olive oil. So just set the lid on your Magical Butter machine and select blend. And your Magical Butter machine is gonna blend, stir, chop, and grind all your ingredients until you get the perfect chimichurri. So now that we've chilled our dough, we're gonna roll it out into about a 2 millimeter thickness here. And then we'll take this stainless steel cutter to cut our empanada dough into 3-inch diameter rings. And now to fill our empanadas, just take a 1 teaspoon scoop of our nut filling and go ahead and seal that up with a little bit of water around the edges to get a nice good crimp for the perfect empanada. And now it's finally time to fry our empanadas. I have a pot on medium-high heat with peanut oil set for us. Now we're basically ready to drop these babies in. So now we're just gonna fry up these empanadas until they're a nice golden brown. So today we made some awesome empanadas here with some chimichurri filled with walnut meat filling. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for joining us during this whole process. If you wanted to get a magical butter of your own, get onto our website at MagicalButter.com. Promo code LOLA for $30 off of your magical butter machine. Thank you so much for joining us, and peace and love.